to everyone. What happened?
Your lens is 3
It's
speed.
dirty. My lens is dirty. There we go.
Oh,
You can
much
see this
better.
pretty face now.
Much better.
It's made for radio. So, look, folks, we're live. This is our first live of the year, I believe. For folks that are already following the channel, we appreciate you. Hopefully, you keep following the channel. I'm going to break down everything that we're doing. I know a lot of you guys are used to this channel being the dog channel, and we're still going to show dogs, but it's not going to be the dog specific channel. We're going to create another channel specifically for dogs. So obviously we are going to reveal that to you guys once we got it set up, right? So just stick around, right? Don't leave. We're still going to show the dogs, right? But just walk with us as we're figuring out our social media imprint, right? So look, to all the new people, welcome, welcome, welcome to B.F.T Nation. Let me see if I can get this introduction right. I've been practicing it all day, right? Welcome to B.F.T Nation, where our faith is built. What did I say? I messed it up already. Where our faith is forged by fire. So we are
You know
built.
why? Because you
uh,
didn't start out with your usual peace and
I know,
prosperity. So,
because I had already started talking.
uh-huh,
So it kind of threw me off, right? So let's start all the way over.
uh-huh.
Peace and prosperity, everyone. Welcome back to B.F.T Nation, where our faith is built. No, where our faith is forged by fire. So we are built faith tough. Because we know that faith without works is dead, we want to show you what our works are going to be today, right? So today, just so you know what we're working on today, and then I'm going to break down what the goal of this channel is, right? So today, the goal, as we pan over here, is spring cleaning, right? So the entire winter, we've just been surviving, right? Because obviously it's cold in the wintertime now. For a lot of folks that are familiar with this building, we got the building last year, right? We got it like right at the tail end of the summer. So we really just had enough time to clean it up from the last people that had this property and get it good enough to where we can get the dogs inside for the winter, right? Because we didn't want the dogs to be outside for the winter. So we had to clean out the garage, we had to clean out the yard, right? Which you guys are going to see all of that later, the yard and stuff later, right? So then it was just survival, right? Survive long enough to when it got warm again, to where we can really start, making big progress, right? So now this summer, that's our goal, is to make big progress, right? So our season, right? We're in the season of build, break, build, right? And basically what that means is, right, we're building stuff up to break it down so we can build it up again. And what do I mean by that, right? So you see all of these kennels in here. Again, we built all of these kennels in here over the winter time, right? Because it was a necessity for us in order to house the dogs in the wintertime, right? Now, this was not the end goal. This was a temporary thing just so it can be functional, simply so we had somewhat comfortable place for the dogs to be in the wintertime,
That's good,
right?
son. That's good.
So now it's time to break, right? Again, we built, now it's time to break, right? Because again, all of these kennels were temporary. So we're breaking all these kennels down, right? We're getting the dogs back outside temporarily, right? Because ultimately the goal is to get them inside again. But we have to get them outside to get them back inside. Get it, build, break, build. So anyway, we're breaking all these kennels down so we can get all of the dogs outside, right? The reason why we need to get all of the dogs outside is because we need to do some structural work on the facility, right? So we have a company that's coming out. If you take a look at these columns, right? So this building is at least 75 years old. It might be older than that, right? So if you take a look at those columns, right? And then you probably can't really see it on camera, right? But if you pan down to the bottom of the column, right? A lot of these columns have now separated, right? Literally deteriorated from the ground level, right? Because as you know, wood over time it just deteriorates, right? So we have a company coming out to restabilize these columns so that way the building doesn't fall on us, right? Because all the columns have not all of them, but a lot of them have deteriorated over time. So in order for us to do that, we got to get everything out the building, right? So we literally have to take everything out of here. Then we actually have to take all of the metal panels, the metal sheets off of the wall up to 6 feet. We have to take all of this old insulation out. So basically, for the most part, really what we're looking at, all of this insulation up to that line right there, right? You see that line right there? We got to take all of that out, including the metal sheets. We have to take all of that out all the way around, including we have to tear down this office here, right? So they can get to the columns over here behind the office, right? So we got a lot of work to do to get this building up to par. So we need to get the ball rolling, right? So again, this season, right? This is season 1, episode 1, season 1. The theme of season 1 is build, break, build, right? Because we're going to be building a lot of stuff just to break it down, just to build it up better again, right? So today, what the goal is to clean this side of the building out. So all of these kennels, all of this stuff on this side, I want to get it all out. All of this is left over from the wintertime. Dogs get out, they tear stuff up. And again, sometimes because we're just trying to survive, we just kind of leave a mess in order to clean up another mess until we can get to that mess. So anyway, so all of this is going to be cleaned out today. You guys are going to be with us today. We're literally going to go live as we're doing it, right? So you can follow along and see as we make progress of cleaning this out today. And once we do that, this episode will be over, and then we'll come back again tomorrow with more work, right? Because that's what it's about. It's about work. And that's where my faith is. My faith is in the work that I know I can produce, right? So, without further ado, let's get to the work. So, the first thing we got to do, we got to pull this camper out of here because my wife is going to be inside cleaning up. Because this is the camper that we're going to live in, right? And we haven't even broke down, some other goals. We're going to break it down maybe a little bit later today. But this is the camper that we're going to be living in while we're getting this place together. So we just purchased this camper. As a matter of fact, let me take this. I don't know if hopefully you don't call these people. Took this guy a long time ago.
Okay, there we go.
It's hard. Please don't call them people. whoever see this video, please don't call them people. So anyway, I got to pull this out, right? Because we don't have a cord for the electricity, right? So I got to pull it out so my wife can get sunlight so she can see inside of the camper so she can do her thing inside of there and make this house a home, right? Then, like I said, we're going to proceed with cleaning out this side of the kennel. So with that being said, without further ado, let's get it going. I got to back the van inside so I can pull the RV out. So let's get it done.
Daddy has to pull out the camper. Move that over there for me. Yeah, because, yep. Thank you, guys. Gray Bear, just leave it over there, huh? Just leave it over there. Can you move this out of the way, please? Yep. Thank you. And yeah, kind of move that. To the left. Left. Go up some. Left. Huh? No, just go back left. Come back and go to the left. Yes. Okay. Nope. Go to the right, just a little bit. To the right. To the right. To the right. 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 Yes, come straight back. Keep going. Yep, come on. Keep going. Yes. You gotta come back some more. Oh, you're out. You gotta come back some more.
It might. What I'm gonna do? Let's put it down.
Okay.
Then once it lays on there, I'll just back it up a tad bit, and it should fall right on.
Okay.
I so my it's me being funny, folks. So
Uh-oh.
don't take this serious. Okay? I like to crack jokes sometimes. Okay? If your man don't know how to back a car up to the trailer hitch, might want to send him to B.F.T. Nation School so we can teach how to do manly stuff. There. So now let me back it up. All on there.
Yes. It's good.
Yeah. Mhm. There we go. In the mix like hot grits. Don't steal my sand. All right. So this trailer, folks, is the first one of the first things we purchased so we can begin to build our self-sufficient life, right? Our debt-free life. Um, me and my wife, we sit down obviously and we talk about life, we plan life and all of that stuff. And we've learned that the best way to plan life is plan from the end to back, right? So what do we want our life to look like at the end? Start there and work our way back. Most people
Begin with the end in mind.
begin with the end in mind, right? Most people start with the beginning in mind, trying to get to the end, right? But where we found fault in that is things never going to go how you planned it to go, right? So you have to be able to maneuver and bend a little bit and shift, right? But still keep the end goal in mind, right? So a lot of the time people get discouraged because they start with the beginning in mind. And then as soon as things don't go their way, they forget about the end goal, right? So as long as you keep the end goal in mind, how you get there doesn't really matter, right? Because it's always going to change. It's never going to look like how you planned it on the paper, right? So basically, the best thing you can do is write a general outline, a blueprint, right? And then all of the details you kind of work out as you go, but you keep certain milestones in mind. Like for an example, right? Like I said, our goal today is to get all of this out, right? Now I have a plan of what I think is going to look like, but I know it's not going to go exactly how I'm thinking it's going to go, right? Something is going to happen. I don't know what it is, but something is going to happen that's going to change how I envision this to go today. But the end goal is to get it out. So however I got to do it, I'm gonna do it, right? So our end goal is to be self-sufficient, debt-free, right? We want to purchase. Our goal is a minimum of 5 acres. I really want 40 acres, right? 40 acres is the goal. The minimum is 5. What's that? Is who?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you say. No, what was you say? What was your point to? Oh, okay. So the goal is 40 acres, right? But we want to purchase it cash. We don't want to owe nobody money. We don't want to no bank loans. We don't want to do none of that, right? So living in this RV is going to allow us to save a whole lot more money, right? So we can get to that goal faster, right? And we will break that down more as we go. We're just kind of giving you guys the outline, right? So let me make sure this is hooked up so it doesn't pop off. There we go. Got to make sure that's in there. All right. Got to move this out the way. Okay. So, all right, let's move it out. Roll out. All right. So there we go, folks. So we're gonna leave it just like this. And so that way my wife can get in there and you know do her thing. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set you up inside of here as I am cleaning out this side of the building. Because like I said, the goal today is to get all of this cleaned out over here. Because what I would like to be able to do, one, actually, I may, depending on how much time we have, right? I may get this kennel out of here too, right? Because what I would like to be able to do is back the RV all the way up to the wall. So that way I can pull the RV in all the way back, and then I can also pull the van in and, have enough space over here to where we can still maneuver and do some things, right? So that's the goal for today. At the very minimum, we got to move these kennels. Ideally, I would like to be able to move these kennels today too. But so let's get to it, folks. Just stick with me as we do the work because faith without works is dead. Let's do it. Okay. Getting you guys set up. All right. Now, gonna let my boy Knuckles out. Come on, Knuckles. Knuckles hurt his leg, so he's been chilling, letting him heal. Because he's a Malinois, and Malinois do what Malinois do. So just kind of letting him heal a little bit. Open that up so we get some more airflow in here, get a little bit more space. Okay. Matter of fact, I want to move this camera over here. Everybody say hello to Braylon. Braylon is the prince. Braylon is the prince of, it's all right, son. B.F.T Nation. We're gonna actually put her outside. I put them outside. So that way all that barking doesn't get in the way of the video. We're gonna put that dog that's barking. That's Black. He's a German Shepherd. So we're gonna put Black outside. So that way all that barking doesn't interrupt the videos. Okay. Is outside. So now we have some peace and quiet. Quiet. Okay, let me move you guys so you can see a little bit better what's going on. Eventually, actually, what I would like to do is find a way to set you guys up. Okay, now Brownie wants to bark too. Maybe set you guys up on top so you can get a bird's eye view of the entire building. So that way I don't have to move you around as much. But we're gonna do what we can with what we got until that time comes. Huh? You gotta pull it down. You gotta pull that little metal. Yeah, and then pull it. Yeah. All right. All right. Give me a second. Give me a second, folks. What's up, Knuckles? Come here, Knuckles. Come here. Knuckles. Come here. He's still learning his name. Okay. Okay. What? What's the purpose of you spraying? That's not made for you to just be spraying all day. Okay. All right, folks, let's get to work, man. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. So sometimes the hardest thing about starting a project is actually starting the project, right? Figuring out where you want to start, what, right? And then sometimes it's better to just start doing something. And then as you just start moving and doing something, then you can figure out the rhythm as you go, right? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to move these kennels. Now, the question is, where do I want to put the kennels? Because here's the other challenge about the build, break, build season, right? When you move something, you're going to put it in the way of something else, which means when it's time to get to that, you're going to have to move that same thing again, right? So again, thinking about the end in mind, my goal is to touch something the least amount of times as I possibly can. So that way it cuts down on the physical labor that I have to work, that I have to do in the end, right? So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, right? I think what I'm going to do is move all these kennels inside this office here. So that way I don't have to keep moving them around out here every time I need to get to a different kennel to break that down, right? So that makes the most sense to me because I don't really use these kennels, right? But I always like to keep them just in case. They're great kennels to keep just in case, right? So I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to move all of these kennels on the inside of this office here. What? It's hard. You got to be careful because you might cut your hand. So I don't want you to try it because you might cut your hand on the knob. I already did. Exactly. No, that way. I already tried it. All right. Well, one of the things I'm going to do Now, here's what you can do, Raylan. You can actually spray your kennels down. So I'm going to clean the kennels out because what has happened is over the wintertime, the birds the birds have habitated this building because there's holes in the wall. So if you look, right, let me show you guys. I don't know if you can see it, and you can probably see it, but if you look in the rafters, all the little white spots you see in the rafters are from birds because they obviously, they roost up there or whatever you call it that they do, and they poop. So inside of this kennel is all kind of bird droppings. So we're gonna clean this kennel out. You can keep that on. No, it's not in there. Wait a minute. What I need you to do, all the white spots, all the bird poop in there, make sure all the bird poop is cleaned up. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. All right. I'm getting all of the straw out of here. So I need that. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Son, it's okay. Leave him. It's okay. It's all right. I got to be honest with you folks. One of the hardest things for me to do, as a parent, is to remember to allow children to have fun. But at the same time, it's a balance between having fun and actually being productive. Because if you're not careful, you know, children will have all the fun, but they won't be productive, right? So that's one of the hardest things for me is, learning that balance to where allowing children to enjoy, this freedom, right? Which is the reason why we're out here, but remembering that we have to be productive at the same time, right? So, yep. Come on, Knuckles. So now we can do break. Yep, with that, I can put it in. Take it clean, focus on what you're doing. I'll take you to see what mommy's doing inside of the RV. Say hello to the people. So you see, she's cleaning out. There smells scrumptious in here. If the camera has smell-o-vision, it will make you smile.
Brilliant decisions.
And who decisions?
Brilliant decisions.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is the RV, folks. You want to take them on a quick tour of the RV? I didn't want to come inside with my boots on because my boots got, your boots are cleaner than mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they probably want to hear your voice. Your voice is very soothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so this back. All right, so this is
Knuckles.
kitchen slash dining sleep area. The previous owners who we bought this from had two children, so they made this a bed and this bed. So, all right, this is a kitchen, and there's a closet right here. All the cleaning stuff that I'm using is in there. And then this is the bathroom. So, definitely needs a good deep clean. This is the primary bedroom. As you can see, it has carpet. I want to get that out of here ASAP. Here is the shower. Okay, babe. Here's the shower. And it needs to be clean. So I'm actually in the process of cleaning it right now. Just sprayed some odor disinfectant. I'm going to clean it, odor band it again, and then wipe it down, and then probably clean it again. So I'm doing several cleanings on this RV because it's extremely dusty. It is older. So I'm doing a general clean, then another clean, and then a final clean. So I will probably, prior to us moving in, I will probably clean this entire RV at least 3 times because that's just what makes me feel like it's actually clean. Maybe 4. All right, so that is it. This is the RV. I'm going to take you all back into the garage here. So when you come in, this is what it's like when you come in. All right. And so yesterday I actually cleaned out as I go back in here, I thought I was done. I actually did a wipe down of the freezer. Still gotta go through there, clean it again. Did a wipe down and a bleach down of both the freezer and the refrigerator. Also did a wipe down of the microwave. Did the stove. I am washing some of the items that go in the refrigerator and the microwave. And all right, now we're leaving for sure. Okay, let's go back in here.
All right, welcome back, folks. You gave him the breakdown and gave him your vision.
No,
I just did a brief overview of what the RV looks like, what I'm doing, and the fact that I'll probably clean it 3 or 4 times before we move in, and we have to get that carpet on there. It makes me dry heat.
All right. Huh? Oh, uh, Welcome everybody that's just turning in to the B.F.T Nation, where our faith is forged by fire. So we are built for tough. And excuse me, as I'm remembering our intro, I've been practicing it all day, right? So I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again until I get it down, like until I remember it. But yeah, so where we're built for tough, and because we know faith is work without debt, we're just showing you our work, right? So stay tuned and just kind of, I guess, vibe with us, man. Vibe with us as we are in our season of build, break, build. All right, let me get back to work. Basically, excuse me. Basically, what we're doing right now, we are cleaning out the right side of the barn, so we can prepare it to get some structural work done to it. This barn is at least 75 years old, if not older than that. So, as you guys probably know, the beams are uh, deteriorating at the ground level. So, if we don't get some work done to it soon, then potentially the building can literally fall on itself. So, I got a company coming out to stabilize the beams. But in order for them to do that, they have to be able to bring their machinery inside and be able to get to the beams. So we got a lot of breaking down that we have to do, right? And what I mean by that is gonna have to remove the entire call. Forgot to put it on do not disturb. Let me put this on do not disturb. Give me a second, folks. Trying to figure out how to put the phone on do not disturb. Hey, babe. Do you know how to put these phones on do not disturb? All right. My wife is going to figure out how to put it on do not disturb.
What do you need, honey?
I want to put this phone on do not disturb. Normally it shows right up in the options, but I didn't see it.
There we go. I got it, babe.
Got it. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, folks. I appreciate y'all tuning in and riding with us. All right. So just to kind of give you guys a vision, just to kind of give you guys the vision, right? And we're doing a little bit of foreshadowing, but just to kind of give you guys the vision, um, what we want to turn this into is a multi-purpose facility, right? So some of you guys may know, a lot of you guys don't know. About going on maybe 5 years ago, about 4 years ago, we shut down our product business. We used to make natural personal hygiene products, right? And not to go too deep into that season of our life. At that time, we just felt it was best for us to shut the business down. And for some reason, over the last 4 years, without getting too religious, God kept bringing it back up in my life, right? So, when I shut the business down, I had the mindset of, we're done with it. We did great when we ran the business. To this date, if I'm being honest, if we're talking about financially, it was the most successful financial business that we have ran to date, right? So, at that time, I thought, hey, man, it was a great run. Now it's time to move on to the next season in life, right? And we kind of did that for the last 4 years as we were rebuilding, just kind of figuring out what we wanted our life to look like, over the next 20 years. But over the last 4 years, almost every single day, I would get a reminder of why we need to start that business again. People will contact me at least once a day, a lot of the time, multiple times a day, asking if we still make the products. Do you have any products left over that I could buy? Almost every single day for the last 4 years, we've been getting messages like that. So, that just kind of let me know how impactful the product was. The products that we were known for, we made a lot of different products, but the products that we were known for were mouthwash, toothpaste, and deodorant, natural, hygiene products, mouthwash, toothpaste, and deodorant. We made it by hand. So if you're interested, you could probably go back far enough on my page and you'll be able to see, not on YouTube, but on my Facebook page and stuff like that. But anyway, you'll be able to see us making the product. So one of the goals with this facility is to create a space to where we can manufacture our product. And then the other space is more of a functional space, like where we can, just kind of an open space where we can do multiple different things, right? To where we can be flexible in, what we need to do, fix cars, whatever it is. So that's kind of the goal, with this space, right? So we haven't figured out the logistics yet, how big we want each space to be. We haven't quite figured that out yet, but that is the goal, is to turn this into a functional space to where we can manufacture our product. We can do dog training. We can fix cars, right? All of that stuff. Whatever it is that we want to do, this space is big enough to do it. We just have to figure out logistically, how we want to segment the space to be productive for what it is that we're looking to do. Yeah. So let me get back to what. Hey, look, to all my dog folks, to all my Packmaster family, the Packmaster hasn't gone away. We are just shifting, things to be more conducive with the content that we want to produce. So we're still going to be producing content for the Packmaster, but I'm going to create another page for the Packmaster where that's going to be solely focused on dogs, right? So just again, just to kind of give you guys an oversight on what we're looking to do, we're looking to produce a network, right? To where we have multiple different channels and then different shows within those channels. So each channel is essentially a network, right? So on B.F.T Nation, this particular network is going to be focused around self-sufficiency, right? Being as um, self-sufficient as you possibly can without being dependent upon anybody else to get the essentials in life, right? Whether that's food, clothing, shelter, money, protection, all of those things, health, well, all of those things we want to be, hey, all of those things we want to be as self-sufficient as we possibly can. What's happening, Jake? Hey, who? What you point at? What you need? Oh, that's not what we use this. So yeah, folks. So that's the goal, right? So within the next couple of days, the Packmaster page will be back up again. It'll just be on another page. And we're just gonna keep building, man. So for all the folks that appreciate, what we're doing, what we're aiming to do, just stick around. Things are gonna start to come together. You're gonna start to see the vision come together. Right now it's kind of, organized chaos, right? But as you know, sometimes things have to come apart in order for them to come together, right? So just give us a little bit of grace, and I promise you, we're gonna give you guys some great content. I guarantee that. Um, yeah, but I like it though. Wow. Put them in the temple too. Oh, they couldn't be else, is it? Can't put it in front. What to take? Put the knuckles out and put it in front. Watch and make sure you don't go. Matter of fact, yeah. Give me a second, folks. I'll be right back.
You know where I am?
All right, I'm back, folks. I'm back. Right. Now we move on to the next page. Don't pull him, son. Just let him, let him walk on his own. All right, folks, we almost finished. All right, folks, we are shaking and baking and moving and moving. Huffing and buffing, baby. Bring you guys a little closer so you can actually see the work up close and personal. So, like I said, these kennels are kennels that are, that were pretty much just left over the wintertime that we don't use anymore. So now that we're doing our spring cleaning, I'm cleaning all the kennels out, all the old straw that we put in there. Because one of the things about having dogs in these kennels with this plastic bottom, some dogs will develop sores. So when we were using these kennels, we would put straw in the bottom of the kennel, just to make it soft, so that way the dogs aren't laying on a hard surface. Um, we tried beds and stuff like that, but the dogs would tear them up, so it was no point in continuously buying beds. So we just said we'll use straw. But once we decided to stop using these kennels and we got the bigger kennels that you see in the background, then there was no need for these smaller kennels. So we just set them to the side and let collect dust pretty much over the entire winter. So now we're cleaning them out so we can get them out the way. So that way, like I said, we can clean all these kennels out from over here, open up that side of the barn. So that way we can do more functional work. Good, good girl. Good girl. So these two girls right here, Instinct and Killer, are dogs that I am doing a board and train on in protection and obedience. They're actually going home tomorrow, because they are not finished with their program, but they are finished enough to where they can go back home, and then the rest of the training can be done while they are with their owner. So yeah, those two girls that you see barking there, the reason why I'm telling them good girl is because they're actually going to be used as what we call basically guard dogs, to where they're going to be in a warehouse facility guarding the warehouse. So I'm telling them good girl because they are barking. I have dogs that are outside right now, so they hear the dogs outside, so they're barking at the dogs outside. So I'm telling them good girls because they're doing what they're supposed to do. Hey, Chris, 135. It actually does smell good in here. It smells like Clorox, Gain, and what's this? Watermelon Fabuloso. That's what it smells like. So it probably smells better in here than it does in a lot of actual houses. Hey, that's enough. Ain't see it? Leave it. Hey, leave it. All right, beautiful people. I think I am going to. I think I am going to leave it here for today and pick you guys up tomorrow so you can see the progress. Appreciate you guys for. We appreciate you guys for tuning in to the B.F.T Nation. Built, faith tough, and look. Until the next video, stay safe, but stay dangerous. Peace and prosperity.